So what, I mean, I guess the thing about voice is that the immediacy and the strength of colour, personality colouring of the instrument, in a way, is a really big part of it, which means there are probably different things that you need to write into a score and that you can't or needn't write into a score with voice. Then in a sense, the voice is the person. I mean, there is a slight separation, but not really that much. Text is another thing, of course, and I love working with text. Yeah, I think looking for that interface between, for a singer, the singer as a person and the singer as a vocal quality and sound, and the fact that all of that stuff is so thoroughly interwoven, and trying to pick up on that and trying to be able to respond to and interact with that in a way that's going to be satisfying for the performer, and which is going to be satisfying for me because I'll be asking for things that make sense exactly of where that performer is. That's the desire, that's the goal. I guess I know myself as a singer because I also improvise and write things just for myself to sing. So much of what you can do in that is about the particular way an individual voice works and the things that you enjoy and notice, and and the points in your voice where certain things happen. And while a composer is not necessarily going to manage, in a short interaction with people to pick up on all of those things, I'm trying to. I'm sort of looking for that. Well, I wanted to set some Turkish language for a long time, but I don't know, the right opportunity and the right text. This text, I lived in Turkey a long time ago and learned a certain amount of the language, and I can speak and read a certain amount of Turkish, and I'm fascinated by that language culture and by many other aspects of that culture, artistic culture. But I think a really important point for me in getting to know Turkish and Turkish culture was when I first met the writing of Orhan Pamuk, which would have been in about 91 or something like that, or maybe early 92. Initially there was only one novel of his published in English, and my Turkish is not good enough to read his Turkish. His Turkish is challenging for many Turks. I've tried, but nonetheless, reading his work in English, there's something when you're learning another language, there's the point when you discover voices in that language, and I guess I'm talking about literary voices in a sense, that really speak to you. And I think that's an important crossing point for being able to engage with another language. You can want to learn another language, but until you know people or personalities or voices that you really respond to in that language, there's something quite dry and artificial and difficult about learning another language. And suddenly you have that sense, I want to understand what this person is saying. I want to know where this person is coming from, and then everything kind of follows. So this text is a text that was taken from one of my favourite novels of his. It's actually not Orhan Pamuk's text. He also loves quotation. And it's a very short text taken out from the last of the famous Turkish Sufi dervish poets called Şey Galip. And I guess I just loved this sense of, I think a lot of Turkish writing and music is very good at evoking what I'd almost call the vapour presence of emotion and atmosphere and things. And I think this text really hints at that very strongly. And I thought soprano and mezzo, you and Jenny, and an alto flute. There's this space of breath and vapour and sort of things winding around each other in a certain sense. Yeah. I think this song's been a fantastic experience for me of learning to do less, of not cluttering things up.